Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, geez, it's such a great evening. Everybody's out partying, everybody's out drinking, doing all the cool things, and here we are doing another podcast. I just finished with my brother, and now we're jumping on to the brother from the other mother, all the way in Shanghai. Guys, I don't know, the show just keeps getting hotter and hotter. Now, the next guest is gonna blow your mind because this guy has three pilot license. Mind blowing. His first pilot license he attained in Australia. And you know what's crazy? He's not even from Australia. It's not even close to his native home. The second pilot license he attained was in Suzhou, China, and recently, not that recent, but recently, he attained his pilot license in the United States of America. Guys, I'm telling you, the network is just so hot, blazing. And my man Kenzo, he's actually just attained his bike license in Shanghai. Now you might think, bike license or what? Hey, listen, getting any license in Shanghai is major. If you understand how the licensing system works, you don't understand. It's really, really epic. So I'm very happy for him. I'm stoked, man. Kenzo, well done. I can't wait for him to brief us on his experience. But guys, this is a highly skilled individual. Now, when you're dealing with airplanes, you're dealing with a serious machine, dealing with serious locomotive systems. This is a man who has dedicated himself. Seriously. I remember when he went to America and he was under a lot of stress because he was telling me about how, expensive it is there. But he came out on top. And then he even had to go for extra flying lessons at MIT. Guys, I don't know, man. The guests on the show just keep getting hotter and hotter. And I had the privilege of meeting Kenzo when I was in Shanghai. Where did we actually meet? Oh, it was actually very interesting. I met him through my friend Nick. I don't think we're friends anymore. I don't know what happened. But Nick was like, yo, man, you got to meet this guy, man. He's from South Africa. I'm like, nah, I don't know if I want to meet any more South Africans because I had like a really bad time with some of the South Africans I met in Shanghai. Well, one of the South Africans. And so I thought, you know what, let's meet this guy, Kenzo. So Nick introduces me to Kenzo at Windows. There was still a bar club named Windows once upon a time, owned by a Kenyan guy. Uncle... I forgot his name. But we met at the underground club there in Nanjing, Nanjinglu. And it was cool, man. Like, at first when I met Kenzo, I was like, man, this guy's really corny. This guy's like, he's all over the show. Actually, the first time I met Kenzo was actually at a bar where many South Africans went. It was the Shed, yes. I'm sure you still have a lot of South Africans going there. It was owned by, or probably still is owned by, an Australian guy. And Nick said, yo, man, I'm going to introduce you. So I met him and I'm like, this guy's really corny, man. He's like, he's like got a lot of energy. Like, he's all over the show. But then funny enough, that night he said to me, hey, man, business is important. We started talking about business. And he's like, I want to start a business. In fact, I just started a business recently, a tailor. I'm like, what? That's pretty cool. Yeah, man, I've been tailor, I met up with this tailor, and so now we're making suits, and it's really high quality tailor, like, and he's explaining to me how suits actually work, how they're actually very cheap when you look at the material and the fabric, but Hugo Boss, Armani, and all these big Louis Vuitton, they sell it a lot just based on the brand. So they're actually making a big income on their margin, because most of the fabric, a lot of the fabric comes from China, if not Italy. That's like the expensive fabric. And so he was just giving me the game. So I was like, okay, man. Well, I mean, if suits are so cheap, like, you think you can hook me up? He's like, yeah, come through. We do use, we get you a custom. Damn, I've never had a custom suit, tailor made. So I'm like, okay, cool. Went through to the tailor, got it tailor made, and oh man, it was such a great suit, man. But it was a blend. He's like, listen, man, the cheap ones are blended. So you blend it with the wool and I think it's polyester or some kind of, yeah, some kind of fabric. And so it's a little bit thicker. He explained everything to me. So I got the lapel, nice lapel. It was a burgundy. That suit was hot, man. That suit was hot. And so that was my first tailor-made suit. At least one that I bought by myself, or yeah. So, and I was like, okay, that's pretty impressive. And then I found out that he actually had an education business. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, we have the man of the hour, my man Kenzo. What's happening, player?
Yo, what's happening, Chris?
Yeah.
Pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, man. Hey, man, good to see you. Hey, man, I like your setup, man.
This is Eli's room now. So got the oops. Here's the cupboard. You got me. But it's the whiteboard and Eli's toys. Yeah.
Nice. Wow, man, that's so cool, man. I like the view, man. The window in the back is looking so fresh, man.
Yeah, no, today's a so-so day, but usually, yeah, you could see the Pearl Tower behind me.
Jeez, man, that's incredible. I still remember one day we had a party at your place. It was gang chicks smoking cigars. And that night, I think we could see the Pearl Tower. Man, you have a really great address, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm blessed. I'm very happy. But they're building more of these skyscrapers next to us. So, yeah, I'm seeing less and less now.
Oh man, that's crazy. Man, Shanghai doesn't stop, man. That's one thing that blew my mind about Shanghai. Like, it's so developed, but it's like the administration feels like they're not developed enough. It's crazy. So yeah, man. Tell me, what's happening? Because I was telling the audience that you got your pilot license in Australia first, right?
Yeah, I embarked on my aviation career in 2017. And yeah, I'm still working on it. So yeah, according to my mom, I'm still a freshman, for the lack of better word, But yeah, but believe it or not, I've been flying since 2017, and yeah, so I'm being very lucky to be able to experience something which is not a lot of people experience every day. So I'm saying this from a grateful point of view. I'm not trying to brag, but yeah, everyone who can afford it and has the financial abilities to to experience it, yeah, definitely must go for it. I would rather spend money on flying than buying cars and stuff. And then yeah, this is a CNN moment, or BBC.
Yeah,
That moment
understand.
where your child comes. Yeah, you can come say hi, but then you have to go to sleep. Yeah, this is the
Hello.
young stunner. Here's the money
What's
man.
what's up, money man? What's up, Eli? How are you?
Yeah,
Hey,
actually, he
you
can't hear
looking so.
me. And, yeah, and he wants to go play now.
Oh, okay. So cool, man. That was such a great moment. Wow, man. Hey, man, it looks like you, man. You can definitely, you can take that to the bank, man. You know, there was no mistake there. That's for sure. You're not raising someone
No,
else's kid. That's
definitely.
for sure.
Yeah,
Hey,
no.
my man, I know
Sometimes I have
people.
doubts, eh? Sometimes I have
Yeah.
doubts, but yeah.
Nah, nah, that's your kid for sure. So yeah, man. Okay, okay, so that's incredible. So okay, Australia's your was your first venture, correct?
Mm, yeah. Australia was my first flying gig, and then I went to oh, it's been so long time ago, I don't even remember now. Oh yeah, it was China in Suzhou because I couldn't go to Australia because of the pandemic, couldn't leave the country. So I thought, yeah, just do it in China, and then once the doors been open after the pandemic, I thought, no, let's just get it done once and for all. So I went to the US, and then I'm actually still going to go back to finish two more. I've got the instrument rating to go, and then the commercial pilot license. Of course, there are, certain ratings or certificates, if you want to call it, adding in between. But in a nutshell, it's private, instrument, and then commercial. So basically, three major licenses.
Okay, I see. So right now you have the instrumental.
No, I have the private, and then I'm
Oh.
going to get the instrument, not instrumental.
Oh,
And
okay.
then instrumental is yeah, is a track without the
We were
voice.
making music on the
Uh,
plane.
yeah, yeah. Hey, I can see you listening to instrumentals, eh? No, me too, me too. I listen to that. And then it's the commercial, yeah.
Ah, got you. I got you. Okay, cool. So with the private license, is that like does that give you the ability to say, you know what, I'm just gonna catch a flight by myself, and are you allowed to take passengers on that flight, or how does it work?
Mm. Yeah. Uh, well, to make the long story short, because every country have its own laws and different variations and rules. So, if we're talking about the American private pilot license, then as long as you don't, take passengers for hire, then you basically can take anyone you want, provided it's in the plane that you train in. Funny you asked this question because every single oral exam question by the FAA examiner is like that. Are you allowed to carry passengers for hire? So you,
Uh,
yeah, there's a flashback of my oral exam, but that's what they asked actually. So you can see clearly I've forgotten all of it, but basically we are told not private pilot license. You can't take passengers for hire.
okay.
Otherwise, if you've done three landings and takeoff in the previous 90 days, then you can take passengers in the plane or the category of the plane that you certified to fly. But in China, it's a different story. You must have you must know the military, and then yeah. I don't want to get into the politics, uh, but it's not that easy. In America, you get into the plane, yeah, just like hiring a car anywhere in the country. You show them your license, they give you the keys, and there you go. But that's the same applies for Australia. But in China, it's pretty strict. So you have to know people, and then the military, controls the skies.
Ah, red tape. I got you. No, yeah, no, China's got that red tape. Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. But that's interesting. Wow. Okay, freedom in America. Okay. So now, so with your license, you can fly nonetheless in China, right? You like, okay, you don't need to hire someone, but like if you would decided that, you know what, you want to take a flight like tomorrow morning, is it quite a difficult procedure, or is it something that you can organize without stress?
Yeah, it's actually um, you actually said it quite right. You actually said it yourself that you have to organize.
Mm.
So obviously, compared to America and Australia, there's a process, but otherwise, you just have to. Is that how everyone? You have to get the permission from the military, and then obviously the weather must be permitting. Then, if those two factors are satisfied, then it's the green light. Obviously, in China, they check you before you fly. Like an instructor sit next to you, fly for an hour, and then he thinks that you're okay. Then you can go by yourself.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Even though it sounds like, oh my god, you have to fly for an hour. Imagine 1 hour. Actually, that's about 6 to 7 takeoff and landings. That's one circuit, one lap. So it's pretty quick. 1 hour in the sky is very, very quick. So yeah, even though you think it's an hour, imagine an hour. If we such as did an interview for an hour, that's very, very long. But for flying a pattern or a circuit, an hour feels literally like 15 minutes.
I got you. Okay. All right. And so, what's the longest flight you've had? If an hour is quick.
Yeah, I would say cross country solo.
Ooh.
Flew. Yeah, I left from my home airport, where my flight school is, and then depart to second airport. Landed there, then fly to a third airport, and then back to my home airport. So it was, I think it was about 250 kilometers. Yeah,
Wow.
as I said, I don't,
Man.
yeah, I don't exactly remember the distance, but I remember flying for about 2 hours. And obviously, in the middle, I had breaks. Of course, I had to land. And but yeah, it's quite a. I would say for me, I see it as a endurance sport. Some people think, oh, you're just sitting in the plane, you do nothing. But yeah, trust me, once you land, your entire clothes it's salting sweat. So yeah, it's quite an endurance type of thing. Um,
Okay.
and it's quite challenging. Yeah, it's like Formula One drivers, if I could compare it. Even though you're sitting there and moving your arms, but it's a very endurance sports uh, type of activity.
So what are you dealing with G-force? Like, are you dealing with like, resistance from, the inertia? Like, what's like, how come is it that you sweat? Because the passengers seem to just chill, and nobody's really sweating.
Yeah, I sweat because I get very nervous.
Ah, I got
So
you.
for me, yeah, personally, I get very nervous. Maybe nervous is not the right word, but focused and
Mm.
I'm very intense. People say that I get very stressed and very serious. So yeah, for me, maybe nervous is not the word, but I'm very, like, I take it very seriously, and so I'm always active. Even though I'm sitting there, but I'm active. I'm preempting what's going to happen next. I'm preparing for the next move. I'm always checking for errors. Things can go wrong. So maybe it's a combination, of physical activity inside the plane, because there is a lot of workload to fly a plane by yourself. So, by the way, yeah, a plane never supposed to be fly by one person. It should always be by two people, so they
Uh,
can catch your mistakes. Yeah. So I say, so it's 50%. I'll say the physical activity in there, the actual workload, and then the other one is your, it's adrenaline. As I said, I feel like it's a sport. So you sweat as a result.
I got you. I got you. Okay. So the co-pilot is kind of like, rally car driver. I would think, he's not just sitting there and just, it's a holiday. I guess he's got like some responsibilities, or I don't know. Am I, maybe just making things up?
The co-pilot is for me. I think yeah, it's like the word suggests. It's a co-pilot. He can also pilot the plane.
Mm,
Um, the main purpose, I guess, it is to help with the amount of workload. So also to catch the mistakes that the captain makes.
mm,
So yeah, if I have to have one sentence to sum it up, it would be to ease the workload on the captain. Um, for me, I feel like sure that there is a lot of workload, and I use the autopilot as a co-captain. But having a real person sitting next to me, it's comforting. It's also there to warn me about potential hazards. If we fly in VFR, which is visual flight rules, you look outside. They can help you look at planes, other planes to avoid collision. So the benefit of our co-pilots is just tremendous. But now these days, with the advancements of autopilot and computers, single pilot operation is possible. But again, nothing beats sitting, with a co-pilot. Plus, you can chat and banter, the whole flight, so you're not that lonely.
I got you. I got you. All right, that makes a lot of sense, man. And yourself, have you also, taken the responsibility of being the co-pilot? And if so, does it get boring at times, or what's it like?
I haven't, to be honest. I haven't been a co-pilot, not even once. Yeah. So um, not because I'm super qualified or anything like that. I've just never, I've never been, I guess, privileged to sit next to someone to fly a plane. I've always been by myself flying, except when I have an instructor next to me. Um, the only time when there was another person next to me was when I flew my friend, who is a Singaporean guy called Nick. Now he's working for Singapore Airline. I flew with him, and he was the co-pilot. So we just help each other out, look out for mistakes, go through the checklist and stuff like that. So yeah, I've always been captain and fly either captain by myself or fly with a co-pilot.
Okay, okay. And I actually just had a flashback now where you were actually teaching me to fly using the simulator. I think it was called Flight Simulator or something. That was really cool, man. It was actually quite addictive. I love that so much. Do you still engage in the Flight Simulator?
Yeah, funny you say this because the flight simulator, the location was actually behind me.
It was there, right?
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was actually this room, and yeah, facing the windows behind me. So yeah, this was the simulator room. In fact, if you look at the roof, the light bulb
Ah,
is a plane.
wow.
Um, yeah, with the presence of Eli now, so obviously we have to make some rooms for Eli to play with. But yeah, I'm sure one day when he grows up and he understands, and or starts to appreciate the value of flying, then yeah, we can get the system back. But yeah, for me, no, I actually for my training I used it, but now I think I've moved past that stage of my training, so I don't really need the simulator. Just fly the real thing. Yeah.
Mm, that's really cool, man. That's really cool. And Eli himself, I think you went on a flight with him, and Eli being a really young boy. How was that for him?
It was a dream come true. I must say, it was a dream come true. It was something that I've always wanted to do. Yeah. I mean, I have to give 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 our Father in heaven, all the praise and because and I hope this message go out there to as many people as possible because I told him that when I become successful and when my dreams are fulfilled, I'm going to tell the world about it. So this hopefully is a platform to also spread the word. Yeah, he made my life. Yeah, he made my life, and he made my life dream come true. It was an amazing experience. I couldn't, words couldn't, express how proud I am as a dad. I've always wanted to fly him. That's from my point of view. From his point of view, he just couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to get up in the sky. I don't think he actually quite understood the gravity of the occasion. Like dad taking a son on a solo flight. Um, it is very rare for people to fly, and it's even more rare for a father to fly his son, just the two of them, to bond, in the sky, in a tiny cockpit like that, and he trusts me with his life, going up in the air and doing some crazy moves. So yeah, it was very fulfilling, very fulfilling. I thank God for it, and the the funny thing is, he was so excited. He couldn't wait to get up. But after 5 circuits, 5 laps, he's like, "Daddy, I need to vomit." I'm like, "Whoa, hold on, not
Oh
now." I was
no.
like, "Not now." Not now. I mean, like you know what I mean. It's not like, okay, let me put the plane on autopilot and then let me just. Well, I can, but I mean, vomit into where? Like I didn't have anything prepared. And it's something that I that you really couldn't prepare for. You prepare for every emergency, even for engine failure, but you never prepare for kids who want to vomit onto the instrument and controls in front of you. Yeah, and he was just nagging. He's like, Daddy, I need to vomit. I can't hold it anymore. I'm like, oh, I'm like, hey, Grant, we're coming back. This is our last one for landing. He's like, yeah, runways clear for the clear to land. Tell me the wind directions, and then I'm just coming into land and going lower and lower, approaching the runway. And then I'm like, Eli, please, man. One hand is holding the control. My feet were, controlling the pedals to yaw the plane. And then my other hand was just holding it. I was like, please, if you puke, just at least puke downwards, And as soon as the
Hey.
two main wheels touch the ground, as soon as the wheels touch ground, as soon as we were grounded, where the plane just landed and you know, everything just came out. And
What?
I had to simultaneously catch his vomit and trying to slow the plane down as it touches touches the runway. um
Jeez.
yeah, and then when we got to the end of the runway, we did a U-turn, we come back, and then the everyone's like, wow, couldn't wait to open the cockpit and see what's going on. I'm like, this guy just vomited, hurry up, and yeah, so it was a you know it was a great experience, very fun experience. Yeah, I took Eli's mom for flight as well, and she was confident. She was confident as well. She was even more confident actually. She was like, "No, I can't wait to fly." And Eli lasted for about 5 laps, five pattern in the 5 circuits in the pattern.
Mm.
She only lasted 2 laps, and she was like, no, I need to vomit as well. I'm like, let me go down immediately, emergency landing.
Really? Um, okay, wow, man. I didn't know that, people can, get nauseous from. I mean, flying seems so fun. Like, I don't know. It's the last thing I would think.
Yeah,
So, what?
I
Yeah.
think maybe it's because of the fact that it's a small plane. People underestimate them. because in the small plane you feel all the little bumps and all the turbulence, so it really amplifies when you're in an airplane. With the bigger plane, it is maybe it absorbs the forces from the turbulence, but in a small plane you feel everything. So yeah, it's like literally driving a bus versus being in a super bike. On the super bike you feel all the bumps from the road. When on the bus, you just sit there, and then it's pretty smooth and slow and steady.
Oh man, that's so cool. Yeah, I've always wanted to fly, like I think you're super blessed, bro. I think the fact that you've had the opportunity to fly with your son, it's God's grace, man. You're deep in the flow, man. So yeah, that's very encouraging for me. And so now what's so okay, after China, you continued and you got your pilot license in America. Now, from all of these three licenses, which one would you say was the most difficult to attain or the most memorable?
Yeah, the well, hands down, the most difficult was in America. I don't know why. Yeah, it was none of them were easy, so to speak, but America was just much more difficult. Um, which one was memorable? I would say like all of them was very memorable. None of them stand out. Yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't answered your question about which one's memorable, but they were very special moments for me. But hands
Mm,
down, America, yeah, it was tough. Maybe the standard was high. I have a feeling that I was overtrained because the exam was pretty easy. The flight exam was easy. For the oral exam, obviously I killed it. I nailed it. I could answer every single question. And then
nice.
for my theory exam, yeah, I was well prepared. I almost got 100%. So there was only the the training the training part. All the exam was pretty easy. Only the training was very tough in a sense that I couldn't perform the maneuvers. I couldn't. Like my instructor in America told me, people thought, oh, going to get a private license, it's just fun and game. Just like you go through the motions. Maybe, I mean, I don't want to look down on getting a car exam, but you know what I mean. Everyone eventually gets it after some time, but for me personally, it was just impossible. I couldn't perform those maneuvers, no matter how long I practiced. So I was really not confident going into the flight exam. But then, yeah, in the morning, everything just came together. If I'm may, I want to tell you guys a story. The flight examiner before the exam told me personally that, okay, the oral part is over, the oral interrogation is over, or the oral exam is over. Now we're going to go fly. Please make sure that you bring the flight goggles. You can't see. It's like a visor. It blocks your vision, so that you fly blind. You can't see outside. So he said, listen, if you forget that goggle or that glass, then automatically we we are coming back, and you are going back out there alone, meaning that it's automatic failure. So the first maneuver, once we reached the flight altitude, um, he said, "Yeah, we take out your, flight goggles, and I want you to fly blind, fly looking at the instruments." I'm like, "Oh, damn! I forgot to pack it." And then he's like, "Listen, he looked at me like this. All right, my controls, we're going back." Took the controls, made a U-turn. I'm like, damn, I went so far. We like I'm like, this is so stupid. I just my exams got failed, and I have to. I don't know. It was depressing. I was so despondent, and yeah, I couldn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't even bear it. Then I remembered. I'm like, those, you know, you know, these seats have a back pocket. That there's a back slot. I just reached my hand. I just by luck, just I don't know, just because. What the hell? Let me just try. From the back seat, or the, oh, no, not the back seat, the back side of the seat, I pulled out a, a goggle. Um, I put out exactly the thing that I forgot. It's not mine, but it's just someone else's who forgot, left it there. And I'm like, oh, sir, sorry, I got it. It's here. He's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's continue the exam. I put it on. So that day,
Crazy.
yeah, that day I couldn't fail.
Mm.
I couldn't fail that day. From that moment, I'm like, no, no, no. God, you know, God is sitting at the
God's
back.
grace.
Yeah, it's God's grace. Christ is sitting right at the. He's my co-pilot, or the
Wow.
first officer. I couldn't fail the exam, and then from that point onwards, yeah, killed all the maneuvers, came back to land, got my license. Next day, flew with my friend to the beaches, just the two of us.
Wow, that's mad, bro. Jeez, that's the
Yeah,
first time I heard that, I was like, yay. That I mean, I don't know. You don't need any more evidence for God's grace, man. It's abundantly clear. It's abundantly
hey,
clear,
yo, it's yeah, it's you can't be more clear. It's like, I mean, what are the chances of you pulling out your glasses, on the back seat? Yeah, I don't know who planted there, but yeah, I'm gonna have to credit God for that.
man. So okay, these goggles, right? They make you blind, right? They so when you put them on, you can't fly. So then what happened once you put them on? Like what I mean, what's going on? What's the next procedure?
Yeah, the next procedure is trust the instruments. So
Yeah.
you go blind, which means you can't see outside, but you can see down. So half of it is blacking out. So imagine my glasses. The top half is, you take a black marker, you cover it, and then you can only see the bottom part. So
Oh,
so above the dashboard, you see black, and then you can only see your laps, and then the instruments. So in front of you,
okay.
they are, yeah, depending on what kind of plane it is. If it's a digital cockpit, or we call it the glass cockpit, then it's just two, like an iPad, two screens. If
Mm.
it's analog, then you have your six pack, your six round gauges, one, two, three, and then um, two rows.
Okay.
Yeah. So you look at the instruments, you trust the instruments, and then you look at the instruments, and then you react to it. So you you fly the plane looking at these instruments, or the if it's a glass cockpit, meaning it's just computer screens, then you just look at these numbers. From these numbers, then you decide, what is the attitude of the plane. Attitude is the actual attitude. What is the I don't know what's the word to explain attitude. Your
Like the
your
health of
position,
the.
your posture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
the posture of the plane, whether it's banked, whether it's nose down, when it's nose up. Is it just drifting to the right, even though flying level flight, or is it just keep on going straight but with the nose up? So, or is it just going straight but nose down? So, what is the posture of the plane? So, just looking at these numbers, your altitude, your vertical speed, your airspeed, looking at your wings bank, and then you decide what's your plane doing. But otherwise, before, if you can see, you just look outside. Oh, okay, I'm flying level and straight, done. Oh, I'm tilted to the left. Oh, I'm tilted to the right. But then now you don't have that, luxury. You just look at numbers, and then you have to interpret the
uh,
numbers and the data to fly the plane. Yeah, I
that's
mean, I could tell you more crazy stuff during the exam and test. I could go on and on about flying.
yeah. No, no,
Really
no. Tell
exciting.
us something crazy. What happened?
Um, well, I can tell you three events that almost costed my life, but
Ooh.
hopefully you don't show this to my parents. Uh,
Oh,
uh,
geez.
No, I don't see it as a ooh thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I see it as a big learning um, event. Because you learn from your mistakes. Because after those mistakes, you never make the mistakes in real life. So the first crazy thing was I let out the flaps too early. So when your planes come to land, if you look out your window, the wings become, they start to become bigger. The
Okay.
wings, yeah, yeah, it's like a layer of wings start to come out when it comes to land. So
Mm.
I extended the flaps too early because if you extend the flaps or make the wing bigger too early, uh, your airspeed is too fast. You're moving too fast in the air, and then you're going to literally break your wing off. So
Oh.
you have to slow down, and then you have to extend your wings. So yeah, there was just a moment I thought my speed was low, and then I went down because the flap engage handle is like the handbrakes. You have to go down to pull it up. So as I
Oh.
went down, yeah, I leaned onto the control, the throttle, pushed it forward, and you know what happens when you push the throttle forward? The airplane just nosedives. So the speed
Oh.
increased. Woo, and then yeah, luckily my instructor was next to me at that moment. He automatically, not automatically, he immediately um, retracted, put it back. He's like, "What are you doing? Look at your airspeed." I'm like, "What? I saw it was slow." It's like, "No, when you're leaning forward, you push the controls forward, and then the plane go forward, go down." And then the second crazy thing was as I landed, I I landed onto the runway, and then my plane veered to the left off the runway, was going off the runway. So I tried to bring it back, but when I bring it back, the plane wanted, because suddenly I want to bring back, the plane wanted to tip like that.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so it was like this. Here's the runway. Okay, here's the runway. The plane comes down, 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 landed. Okay, and then started to move on the runway, but it veered off to the left, off the
Yeah.
runway. Then I tried to bring it back quickly, and I felt the
It's
plane was about to tip to the right. Then I immediately full power, and then I went. I took off again. So it was a go around. It was a aborted landing.
oh.
Yeah, it's called a go around.
So you were actually tipping and then you saved yourself by actually taking off again.
Yes. That was part of the training. If any landing um, isn't configured correctly, if you don't feel that you can land safely, then just go around. Don't even think about it, because that is your backup plan. You don't want to be, so close to the runway trying to fix things and trying to correct things. There's no better thing. Just full power and go. Go around means go again. Take off again. So yeah, it was literally like this. If it's in fast motion, it was like this. We're going left and do, oh shucks, go again. So I
Yo.
actually have that video. So maybe I could send it to you after, and then you could put an insert into here.
Yeah,
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 a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
people,
yeah. That would be dope.
yeah, a lot of people crashed, because they trying to bring it back, and then when you're trying to bring back, either it tipped like that, or
Mm.
it now before it was veering to the left, now you're trying to bring back, it went to the right, and then went straight off the runway, and then hit the airport terminal. So yeah, I could show you my recording, because I had the camera on. So yeah, I saved it. I really saved it. And then the third one was very very lucky. Another near miss was I was approaching the airport. I was about to land. So the airport was, let's say, here, and I was here. I was about to come in to land. So I'm here. I'm coming to land, and then as I'm approaching, going lower and lower, a plane just flew past me like that. Like
What?
about here, about 500 meters. It was so close that I could see the pilot in there. I could see the pilot. And exactly that was my reaction. I was like, what the, you know? I used
Bruh.
the Edward, thinking that he could hear me. I was like, what the chuck? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the airplane. He's not going to hear me. But I was like, geez, man, this is my last training flight. I just need to land successfully, then I'm done, completed. And then I'm like hoping for no more, mistakes, no more accidents. Not that I made one, but and he just came past me. Yeah, and oh yeah, there's a last one. This is the ultimate. I had in airplane we call it spatial disorientation. Basically, that means that I got lost. So
Oh,
so yeah, it's just like road. This is single. How do you say? One-way street, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you land and you take off.
Okay.
So planes coming to land, take off. Planes coming to land, take off. And this is me. I, I I was here. I was here
Yeah.
ready to take off. I took off, and then I turned around and I came to land back on the runway, but in the wrong way.
Oh,
So I see airplane just coming towards me. So basically, I was. It's like car driving on the other direction of a one-way street. You know,
yes.
So again, yeah, it was a near miss. The air traffic control is like he literally screams like he's like, I don't know what the heck you doing, but you better get out of here. And he's like, I remember clearly. He's like, November Whiskey Tango heading 330 right now. I'm like 330, and then just heading 330 to the west, and then I got lost. Part of it because I was under stress. I was part of the training. Yeah, it was exhilarating, must say. Some crazy stuff, but once you make these life-threatening mistakes in real life, you when you fly by yourself, you wouldn't make it. So I learned, as they say, I learned the lesson the hard way.
Jeez. That is crazy, bro. Wow. Hey man, Kenzo, that is mad. So, a lot of my students like are young stunners, right? And I want them to view all of this. And I think you said it like a real good example of, learning on the job, learning in the moment and taking risks. When do you think is a viable time for students or young people to actually start flying? Like, do they need to finish school? Is this a qualification that they need to attain before they can start learning to actually fly? Or can they start learning while they're in school so that one day, maybe even while they're in school, they can attain their license? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, the absolutely. The legal age in America is 17 years old. So you could be flying at 17. Um, in terms of, what background or what education level, I would say just finish high school. You know, if you're serious about flying, okay, if you're really serious about flying, if that's all you want to do, I would recommend that you just go to the Air Force when you're young, get enlisted in the military. But if you don't want to go to the military, then straight out of high school, go and sign up with the airline and train with them. The disadvantage of that is you sign your life away, because then when you graduate, you have to work for them, for life. Um, Otherwise, no, there's
Oh,
no high requirement. Yeah, just straight from out of high school, know some basic maths and physics. Yes, you do need to know basic maths and physics, but it's only up to high school level. And yeah, if I could do it, anyone can. You don't need any degrees. And yeah, the some of my instructors who are the best, in their field, are directly out of high school. So there's no fancy degrees. You don't need anything. In fact, as long as you can speak here, you know, um, you can do basic arithmetic. Yeah, then it's for everyone. So in fact, if even if you're not into aviation, as I said to you, Chris, I think you should, and everyone should, at least take a solo flight. by yourself at least once in your life, because there's nothing more satisfying. There's nothing more um, just rewarding, just to be able to fly, to say, hey, I operated this machine in the sky. I was able to take it up and I was able to come back safely in one piece. That that money you can't buy. You cannot buy. You were the one telling me about the increase of testosterone levels after you've achieved something of the competition. And after solo flight, the only person you competing with was, the previous flight yourself, uh, from the previous flight. So the amount of confidence, the amount of testosterone, the amount of reward you get from that, the way you see life, life becomes so much easier. I mean, if you think about it, you can fly a plane, you can operate a machine, you can take it up, and you can buy your own control. You have a sole complete control of a plane, and you're able to put it on the ground by yourself. I think that's one of the biggest achievement in life that everyone must go through.
Mm. Yeah. Kenzo, I'm so inspired, bro. I'm so inspired. I feel like going and learning about taking a course now. That is amazing, man. Um, really, you've actually made my night, man. I had a podcast earlier, and it's like I don't know. It's just I really appreciate you coming on the show, man. And for like young guys that want to learn more, or rather they want to follow you, how can they follow you? Like maybe on social media and those kind of things.
Yeah, I'm actually not too much of a fan of. I mean, I don't have too much of a presence on social media. The only two places I'm on usually is Instagram, and in China we use WeChat. So
Yeah.
if yeah, I believe the system of mentorship. I believe that you know to be if you want to be something or somewhere, you gotta have a mentor who has been there and done that. So you want to take advice from people who has been there themselves. So I believe the concept of mentorship. I believe that if they want to, get advice, not just in aviation, but in life, in business, they are more than welcome to get into touch with me directly. So yeah, I don't have a huge social media presence. I don't uh, deliberately put out content. You can do that much better than me. Yeah, I'm not a content person to be to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
The only stuff that I put out there is my life and my achievements. That's the only thing I like to show people. So yeah, they can get into contact with me, in touch with me directly, and I'm more than happy to guide them and mentor them.
Okay, great. So what social media or what channel exactly are you willing to share? Like in terms of the detail, if they wanna like maybe text you or send you a message.
Yes, they can WhatsApp me, WeChat me, send me an email,
Yeah.
follow me on Instagram, and DM me directly. I'm more than happy to share any
Yeah.
information that I can. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually, I think
What's
you
your
influenced me in that sense, to be able to have a mentor. Speak to people who's in the field, the OGs of that industry. Speak to the captains. So yeah, I'm equally inspired by you, and the things that you know I actually want to credit on this platform that I wouldn't say 100% of my success, but I'll say majority of my success must be credit to you, because without your words of wisdom and your guidance, it will be a tough road.
Oh man, I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's been an amazing friendship, man. I really appreciate the friendship that you have. Even though, I'm in Taiwan, you in China, I haven't seen you in a while. You know what? I think the world needs to know that when I left China, this is the man that went straight to my apartment without hesitation
To took all your gold.
to take all my gold and all my silver.
And your
Um,
silver.
you know what? I can never thank you enough for that, bro, because I really was not capable of asking anyone else. I just you done me the biggest favor, and I can never repay you for that. And I really, really appreciate, the fact that you just did that. With no questions asked. It was such a brash moment. Me having to leave China in such short notice, and you just like, just going into my apartment and just, you know, man, I can't thank you enough, Kenzo. Seriously, hey man, you're such a blessing to me, man. It's God's grace that I actually know you. So yeah, thank you, man.
No, it's absolute pleasure. Eh? I did nothing. I just went out there to clean it up. Hey, if I knew there was a mobile phone, iPhone there, I would have taken that too.
No, man, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. And I know your family, man. You gotta take care of Eli. I really appreciate everything that you've come and just given us. You've given us so much value, man. I know the viewers are gonna love it, and I can't wait to hear more from you, my man. And hopefully, as time goes on, we can get you back on the show because I know you got another license that we didn't speak about, but maybe that is one we'll save for the next show.
No, definitely. I can't wait for the next show. I actually thought there was more questions coming. I can get into my suits business and my tutoring. So there's a lot to cover, a lot to cover.
There's a
Yeah,
lot to cover. There's a lot to cover. That's why, hey man, part two is gonna be just as hot, man. Hey man, thank you for blessing us with part one. I know part two is coming, man. It's spicy, man. Hey man, thank you, Kenzo.
all right.
All right, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great weekend, man. Celebrate with your
You
family,
too.
man.
You
Thanks,
too, man.
brother.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go check if he lies sleeping now. And yeah, have a good night.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. Have a good one,
Sure.
Captain. Sure, sure.
Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye, Chris.
Bye bye. Cheers, Kenzo. So, guys, there you have the man of the hour. Guys, I told you that this show is just getting hotter and hotter because the guests are just getting like more and there's so much fire that I lose my mind every time we have such a kid. And Kenzo is a legend. You've heard the kind of experiences that he's faced. You've heard it straight. He's not making this up. You can't make this kind of things up. When you are actually facing life-threatening challenges and you remaining composed, I think that's what life is really missing in a lot of individuals. Because when we face with challenges, sometimes the first thing we do is panic, and then we lose composure, and next thing you know, the situation is worse than it could be, or rather than it should be. And I think Kenzo is a fine example of someone who's remained calm under pressure, who's focused, and is actually resorting back to training. And this is the power of training: is that you training is there for you to get better, for you to actually be able to face challenges without losing your cool. So, I'm so grateful that Kenzo has come and blessed us. It's a Friday night, guys, and we have such amazing talent, such amazing performers in the sky. I can't believe it because I'm just so blessed. I wouldn't be in any other club drinking any other beer, dancing with any other girl. Like I feel so fulfilled that I spend my Friday night actually being so inspired and fired up. I just can't wait for more and more life and more challenges because my network, I don't know, the guys are just so incredible. And guys, part two is coming. Kenzo's bringing us flames. So you guys, that was just the tip of the iceberg. That was just Kenzo is on another level, guys. So this is the value of God's grace, guys. So definitely, I want to say thank you to the father. And guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend.